Hi Ian. This is a video to tell you about GCSE music and BTEC music, two of the options this year that you will have to choose from. So first of all, let's have a look at how the GCSE is divided up. So we have the course structure, which is made up of component 1, which is the integrated portfolio. That's one performance and one free composition. So that one performance is one where it's completely up to you. You choose a piece of music that is right for you to perform. Usually the piece is about 1.5 minutes long, and it needs to be at the highest standard you can play at, but comfortably. So for example, if you can play at grade 5, but you can play a piece at grade 4, and it be really, really good, then that might be advantageous rather than doing the grade 5 piece. And the same applies to grade 3 and grade 2, etc. And any two grades where one of the grades you can play better than the other. But we can discuss that. Okay, so the other thing is the free composition. So although I will teach you the same skills across in the class, same skills that we use in composition, I will be allowing you to kind of go off on your own style. So music is a personal thing to us. So when it comes to the composition process, to a certain extent, it's good that you explore what you like and what actually appeals to you. And then your composition hopefully will reflect that. Okay. Component 2. This is the practical component. So you will need to play in a group. And again, that will be about 1.5 minutes in duration. You don't have to play with many people. It can just be you and one other person, which, if you think about it, is the same as playing an instrument, playing or singing with a piano accompaniment. It's you're still playing with two people, so that's very similar to there's a bit of a crossover with the solo requirement in that respect. So ensemble is 2 or more musicians playing at once, and then that piece of coursework needs to be joined with one composition that you do in year 11. You have to do it in year 11 because the exam board releases the information and the stimulus, the starting points for that composition at the beginning of year 11, and therefore you go off and you compose that in a term and a half, basically in about 6 or 7 weeks. Ready to record it, and that is then ready to be submitted to the exam board in year 11. That is a little bit more restrictive than the free composition. However, there are still a wide range of styles to choose from. For example, if you want to do a pop song, you can compose a pop song. If you wanted to compose an African drumming piece, you can do that. So there still is scope for making it personal to you. Okay, component 3 is the listening and appraising exam. Although you could say this is the theory part of it, actually what you're doing is listening to music. So if you enjoy listening to music in your spare time, this is really going to be appealing to you. Okay, because we choose the exam board OCR, and differently to the other exam boards, this particular exam board does not specify that we have to study certain pieces of music. It specifies, rather than the specific pieces of music, it gives you areas of study where you can, for example, pop music, rock and roll music, you can look at rap music, you can look at heavy metal music, you can look at rock music. These all fall within our areas of study. You can even look at other areas like rhythms of the world, so Indian music, perhaps music from Indonesia, for example. So obviously some of those examples are probably less familiar to you, but you might become interested in them. Therefore, they're the pieces of music that we will be listening to. Okay, so that is the listening paper. That is tricky. There's no two ways about it. That is a difficult part of the exam, but it is one that we do learn every single week. Okay. Throughout the course, and the more we look at the kind of questions that we have to answer, the easier it becomes, so no problems there. So here are some guidelines. The ensemble performance is marked out of 30, and that's 15% of your final GCSE. The board set composition is 15%. Again, that's marked out to 30. So the ensemble performance, that's any genre with any group of your choice. Your part must not be doubled by anybody else. What that means is if you're playing a piano duet, you can't be playing the same thing. Okay, so your part, one of you might be playing that's kind of a chordal accompaniment. The other person might be playing a slightly different arrangement of that. It's still a part of that same piece, but playing something different at the top end. So, board set composition. There will be a choice of 4 briefs from each area of study. Then choose a stimulus from your starting point. You need to play to your strengths. Okay, so both performances for components must be a minimum of 4 minutes, with at least 1 minute as part of the ensemble. Your compositions for both components must be a minimum of 3 minutes long. Okay. So, the areas of study. So, my music, which is to do with you basically developing yourself on your instrument. So, if you're a singer, that means you're developing your singing skills, your ability to sing. If you're a piano player, you're developing your piano skills. Okay, we usually start off with conventions of pop because that is the kind of music that is most familiar to you. You might listen to different kinds of pop music, from like rap music to heavy metal music to rock music to R&B. It broadly fits into conventions of pop, and you'll see how that works on the course. Now, working backwards here, area of study 4 is film music. Area of study 3 is rhythms of the world. That looks at various styles of music from other areas of the world, not just Western music. And then there's the concerto through time. That is the classical kind of bit of the course, if you like. So if you are doing this course to study classical music, that is something that will be the bit that appeals to you the most. If you're not, well, actually, you've got 4 or 3 other areas that are also in the course that we look at. Okay, just give that bit. So, frequently asked questions. So, is it a course for me? If you enjoy music and are happy to learn an instrument and are keen to work hard, then absolutely yes. Okay, does singing count? Absolutely. We actively encourage you to do this. This is one of the best disciplines in achieving great grades and results. It's not that singing is easy, it's obviously not, but it is demonstrated that people tend to get to a good standard the quickest by learning to sing. It may be that you already sing, that you just don't have lessons, in which case we would actively encourage you to take lessons. Okay, does DJing count as an instrument? Yes. Thankfully, the Bedford Music Cooperative are now providing DJing lessons, so we can get those going for you. All right. I'm only a beginner on my instrument, or just about to start learning an instrument. Is this okay? Absolutely. Okay, one of the reasons I like the 3-year GCSE that we do at Wixham's is that it provides you that extra time to learn that instrument and to get up to the highest standard that you can. Okay. Now, there may be many other questions that you have. That's absolutely fine. Feel free to ask me at any point so that you can be better informed as to whether to do the course or not. So the last thing I wanted to say to you, it's quite a significant thing, is that in addition to the GCSE course, we are also running a BTEC award in music practice. Okay, this is brand new. It's not brand new. This course has been run in the past in different schools, but this is brand new for Wixham's. Okay, so here you can see that this is equal to 1 full GCSE, and there are 3 units of coursework, and there's no exam. So that might be something that appeals to you, but don't be fooled in thinking that that means that you don't have to study hard. It doesn't mean that. In fact, you probably have to be even more disciplined with your time management and your ability to meet deadlines, which means that you have to probably work even harder in terms of keeping up with different deadlines and making sure you're managing your time effectively. So, exploring music products and styles. You will take part in many different music making workshops over several months to explore a wide range of different styles and iconic performers. Throughout this, you will produce a portfolio of work. This portfolio will include many forms of work such as short videos, audio, text, graphics, and annotated photos. This unit is designed to introduce you to performing, composing, producing using technology and listening skills. And then there's the musical skills development. You will specialise from two out of these 3 units and areas. So they are performing on your chosen instrument. Remember, your voice is an instrument too. Composing, writing your own music, and producing. That is using technology to create music. And then there's responding to a commercial brief. You will be given a brief from the exam board to work on. You will then develop and present an original creation, choosing one of the 4 styles the exam board has selected for that year. You can present this as a solo or group performance, or an audio recording, or a project using Cubase or Music Tech, therefore giving you the option of not necessarily having to have an instrument. You work entirely to your strengths. To the last slide. So there are 2 Key Stage 4 music courses available, and you may not be sure which one suits you best. Now, it may be that you didn't even consider studying music as one of your options, and now that BTEC Music is on offer, you'll start to think about that as an option. For some of you, the GCSE will definitely be the wiser choice. Both for you as a young musician and for opening your doors later on for A-levels and beyond at university. I will be speaking with as many of you individually as possible to help you consider which option might be better for you. Many people think music is only open for elite musicians. That is just simply not the case. Come and talk to me and we can discuss the different courses in relation to you. Okay? Thank you for listening, guys.